32 days from today, an elderly, orange-tinted man will raise his right hand on the west front of the Capitol and swear the same 35-word oath that Abraham Lincoln did. And in that moment of ascension, Donald Trump will pass the torch to the most powerful man in the world, who is also its richest, President unelected Elon Musk. This is the warning. I'm going to explain the difference between a million, a billion, and a trillion this morning. And I'm going to do it because the United States is $36 trillion in debt. And one day, as Donald Trump cuts taxes for the richest people in the world, spends more money than has ever been spent in American history, he will lay the groundwork for that economy to implode and cause massive suffering because of the stupidity, the ignorance, and the arrogance of the world's richest man, expert in all things, President Elon. Donald Trump does what Elon tells him to do because the presidency, in a way, is a present that Elon purchased for his sugar baby, Donald. By spending $277 million in American money, Elon Musk has been able to, in a month, increase his net worth by more than $250 billion. What's the difference between a billion and a trillion? Well, let's say that I wanted to meet Elon 12 days from now. It's appropriate 12 days from now, the 12 days of Christmas, because the Christmas shutdown that's coming for government is the Elon shutdown. But if I were to say, Elon, let's meet 12 days from now, it would be a million seconds. 1 million seconds is 12 days. I've met Elon's brother. So I imagine if I met Elon a million seconds from now, I wouldn't want to see him again, maybe for a billion seconds. If I say, hey, Elon, I'll meet you in a billion seconds, what that means is I'll see you in 33 years. That's the difference between a million and a billion. A million seconds, 12 days from now. A billion seconds, 33 years from now. Again, Elon Musk spent $277 million, and his net worth has gone up a month after the election and a month before the inauguration by $250 billion. Elon Musk is on pace to be the world's first trillionaire. A trillion. The United States government is 36 trillion in debt. You know what the difference between a billion and a trillion is? If I said, I'll meet you, Elon, in a trillion seconds, it would mean I wouldn't see him. It would mean I wouldn't see him for almost 33,000 years. That's a trillion. And so it came to be on the edge of the 2024 Christmas season that Republican senators and Mike Johnson were desperate to clean up the decks so Donald Trump could start the year fresh, implementing his MAGA agenda with a Republican majority in the House that may be 5 seats or 4 or 3 or 2. There is no margin for error, for illness, for absence. Mike Johnson assembled the bill, and it is a monstrosity. It is terrible for the country. It is a Bible of irresponsibility. Nobody has read it. Nobody has any idea what's in it. Elon Musk took a picture of it, put it on Twitter, and he said, vote it down. This is all about politics, though politics with consequences. And one of the consequences that the American people will have to appreciate, including the millions that will be harmed by the government shutdown, is that in a democracy, elections, they have consequences. We live in a country where 90 million people didn't give a shit and didn't show up to vote. Some of those people are going to suffer, and I feel badly for that. But there is nothing that can be done because to try to intervene and stop the suffering will lead to more and greater suffering. So therefore, in this moment, it is of the utmost importance that Democrats do not give the MAGA movement One vote, not one. Zero. Speaker Johnson has dug his proverbial political grave here, and now all that is left to do is lie down in it. Politics can be a brutal business, and this is a time when it's time to be brutal. No votes, not a one. For the MAGA forces that have vandalized and are about to start vandalizing the United States. But back to Elon Musk. He doesn't understand politics. And what he and Vivek Ramaswamy have foisted upon Donald Trump now is a version of MAGA Vietnam. They had their chance to sweep all the detritus into the ocean off the deck of the boat, but they chose not to. So when January comes and the new Congress convenes, it will start with chaos. And then all those moderate Republicans in tough races, they get to choose. Do I want to lose in a primary to Trump or to the Democrat in November? Keir Starmer, the British Prime Minister, took office, and the day after, he had a net approval of 16 points. A couple months later, his net approval is minus 50. The goal of the Democratic Party is to push upon Donald Trump's failure as early and as often as possible because his agenda, all of it, is a danger to the security of the United States and to the prosperity of the United States. The gift that Elon Musk has given to the Democrats is now they'll have to take the vote on the cuts along with the tax cuts for Elon Musk, who, by the way, and this is very important, he was elected to nothing. He was appointed to nothing. He was confirmed by nobody to nothing. Vivek Ramaswamy and Mike Johnson and Elon Musk are text friends, not government friends.
Well, I was communicating with Elon last night. Elon and Vivek and I are on a text chain together. I was on a text chain last night with Elon and Vivek about Doge because I'm super excited about that. And I said, guys, these are the necessary things. They don't like spending either. They said, we know this is not you personally, Mr. Speaker, and we got to get through this.
The other day, a good friend of mine who works in politics called me, and he said he thought that it was a good idea that Elon Musk would take a fresh approach, fresh eyes to government spending. What I was really surprised about by my friend who should know better is this. We are a nation of laws. The president becomes the president only when he swears the oath. It's the magic that makes him the president, along with winning the election, winning the electoral college. Being elected is what gives you, as an individual, for a very short period of time, temporary, limited, lawful power in a very complicated system of checks and balances. There is no Department of Government efficiency. It does not exist. There is no budget. There is no staff. There is no nothing. It is a fantasy. Elon Musk's power is illusory. It's the power of the tweet. It's the power of the threat. It's the power of, I'll spend more money than you can comprehend to defeat you in your primary. You'll do as I say, or I'll take you out. This is gangster democracy, and there's another word for it, plutocracy. And this is the first days of it. And it is truly unbelievable to watch. Every Democrat should be rejoicing because politically, you can't fix stupid. And what Elon Musk has done is impose on Donald Trump and the Republican majority in the Senate and the Republican majority in the House is a very heavy backpack to carry in January.
It's not Donald Trump asking for this. It's very clearly President Elon Musk asking for this. The fact that Donald Trump has been completely AWOL during these negotiations to the point where only after Elon Musk publicly tweets about his displeasure and about this budget deal, all of a sudden, Donald Trump, chief of staff to Elon Musk, comes trotting in and blows up the deal.
And this is what the American people have chosen. The Democratic Party is not the fire department. they're the minority party. The Democratic Party's job is not to try to stop the terrible things from happening. In fact, it's to communicate why they have happened with picture-perfect clarity and to communicate what can be done at the next election. In the Senate, some of the most unfit people in American history ever put forward. Farcical people, nonsensical people into positions of grave responsibility will soon sit in front of Senate committees and answer questions. There are people like Mitt Romney who stand as a type of archetype of softness, of nonsense. And they speak a language that is a derivative of English that needs to be expelled from our politics because the vanilla, farina, tasteless crapola that it produces does nothing but lift up the extremist movement. And here's Mitt Romney talking about, well, I wouldn't have nominated these people, but I didn't win the election.
This is a team of people who are very, very different, extraordinarily different backgrounds, different perspectives on issues, in some cases, I think, even than the president. So an unusual collection of individuals, not the people I would have chosen, but I lost. He won, all right? I'd like to revisit that and win, but I didn't get that chance. And so these are the kind of people he wants around him. He's entitled to that.
The simple truth is, we're going to know if the Republic is teetering, because if you cannot get a majority of senators to obstruct these nominees by saying no, then there is no advice and consent function that's operable in the United States Senate. And Donald Trump, in fact, is a Caesar who can do as he wishes or as President Musk tells him to do. Truth of the matter is, Donald Trump is probably indifferent about the power. He likes to wave at the crowd at the rallies on the stages. He likes to do the weave. That's what Donald Trump likes to do.
You know, I do the weave. You know what the weave is? I'll talk about like 9 different things and they all come back brilliantly together. And it's like, and friends of mine that are like English professors, they say, it's the most brilliant thing I've ever seen. But the fake news, you know what they say? He rambled. That's not rambling. When you have, what you do is you get off a subject to mention another little tidbit, then you get back onto the subject, and you go through this, and you do it for 2 hours, and you don't even mispronounce one word.
Elon runs the government. That much is clear. And incredibly, he does it from Mar-a-Lago. Elon Musk has moved on up by moving in. It's President Musk for everybody who doesn't get the picture by now. And he calls the shots. Because the richest guy in the world, if you didn't know, since he has the most, is also the most brilliant. And because he's the richest and the most brilliant, well, I suppose he should be in charge too, right? Where he can tell all of us plebes what to do, when to do, what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. Because in the end, he's got the most. And that's the meaning of life, isn't it? This is The Warning. I'm Steve Schmidt. This is The Warning, and I invite you to subscribe on our Substack, on our YouTube channel. Follow us. Welcome to the community.